President Trump aiming these trade penalties, it looks like right at China. So could this spark trading partners to retaliate? Is a big trade war on their horizon? Let's bring in one of the world's best experts on this. He's Gordon Chang. He's the author of The Coming Collapse of China. Gordon, what did you think of the president saying the tariffs of 25% for steel, 10% for aluminum? It sounds pretty onerous. What do you think of a global trade war here? That's what people are saying.
Yeah, I'm not worried about a trade war with China because last year we had a $475 billion trade deficit for merchandise goods. When you look at that, that was 88.8% of China's overall trade surplus. So, we have enormous power over the Chinese. And by the way, that number is up from 68.0% in 2016. The Chinese can huff and puff. But if they want a trade war, we've got all the tools because we're the trade deficit country.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, China, as you have pointed out, is largely a country built on a lot of debt and a lot of credit. Canada now saying they don't like what the president is doing. We've got Federal Reserve officials, senators saying the same on the Republican side of the aisle. Gordon, does the president, is he playing a strong hand now? Do you think he will dial it back? Remember what Reagan did with Japan in the 80s? He said instead of tariffs, we're just going to limit the number of cars Japan would ship into our country. Could the president do that instead of a tariff?
Yeah, he could do that. And by the way, he's got a week of really hard bargaining with the Canadians and Europeans and other countries, that we really want to have good trade relationships with. Mexico is another one. And so when these rules finally come out in final form, we could see quotas and we could also see varying levels of tariffs depending on the country. So I would expect that there would be very high tariffs on China and lower tariffs on countries that are friendly with us. So I think what the president has done by sort of giving himself this week is an opportunity to actually readjust trade relationships in ways that are favorable to the United States.
And to your point, Gordon, just looking at the headlines on this, it appears there's a lot of overreacting. The president didn't name any countries. He could be just saying to China, hey, we want fairer trade. In other words, it's not a global trade war. He hasn't even named the countries. It could be just bilateral trade problems that he's trying to fix with countries like China. Because now, Gordon, to your point, we've got Republican Senators Pat Roberts and Ben Sasse blasting what the president is doing, saying, let's be clear, the president is proposing a massive tax increase on American families. Protectionism is weak, not strong. But, Gordon, we don't know the details. The president did not say, in fact, who he's going to hit the tariffs with, right? Or how many countries, right?
Yeah, certainly. And we got to recognize the broader point, and that is, for too long, China's been taking advantage of the United States. Chinese trade practices are becoming more predatory over time with more state subsidies, especially in the steel industry and aluminum just behind that. And so we have to do something. If we don't do something, we know that China is going to completely flood our markets while closing off theirs, and that's completely unacceptable. This situation, which has been disadvantageous to the U.S., has gone on for far too long. And at this point, there are no longer any no-cost solutions. So we should have done something about this 20, 25 years ago. We didn't do it. So right now, we're going to have to pay the cost of basically irresolute policies in the past.
So, Gordon, your final word, your common sense reality check take on all of this. Tell us.
Yeah, the most important thing is we need to have a self-sustaining steel and aluminum industry. And the reason is we have defense needs. And so tariffs have to be set at a level that is going to permit those industries to be self-sustaining on a long-term basis. They're not there yet. And so this is a national security issue as well as a trade issue.
This could be a buy on the dip opportunity. Gordon Chang, good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on.